Hey guys, welcome back to week 3 of the Chewelah Premier Fantasy Draft League. I'm your host, Sunblaze Warrior, and with me again this week is the voice of the other guy.
Why, thank you again, Sunblaze. We've had a great week of matches here in the Prem as well as in the Draft League. Let's jump right into the action here.
As we always do before each week, let's take a look at the transactions that happened before the matches began.
There are quite a lot of them this week, from many different teams. Starting with Chewelah, who picked up Joao Felix from his last place position, replacing Liverpool substitute Harvey Elliott.
A decent improvement for the worst side in the league so far. Let's see if it helps him earn some points. Next up, Mountain Villa brought in Ilkay Gundogan for Tottenham's Brennan Johnson and picked up the new Southampton signing Aaron Ramsdale for Martin Dubravka.
Tommy picked up the only member of last week's team of the week without a squad, defender Ola Aina. Tim Reen, now of Charlotte FC, is out.
It's a toss-up to me whether this signing will help the club or if he was just a one-hit wonder. Next, FC Varka brought Dominic Calvert-Lewin back into the squad in place of Crystal Palace's Edouard, and Bournemouth's Tavernier comes in for Villa's Bailey.
AFC Sunblaze was another side with a singular change, with Man City's Kovacic making a surprise move out for West Ham's Soucek.
I did this because Kovacic will likely not get very much playing time after Gundogan's signing. Cyprus FC made 3 changes this week, starting with Alex Iwobi coming in for Everton's Lindstrom. But we also have 2 Everton players transferring in, with Ndiaye coming in for Richarlison and Beto coming in for Fulkrug.
The U.S. Air Force made 2 trades last weekend, bringing in Thomas Partey for another Man U flop, Yates. They also let go of Brentford's Ian Matson to pick up Tottenham's Udogie.
And last but not least is the defending champions, Huckleberry Hotspur. Southampton's McCarthy comes in for Ortega Moreno. Ake makes way for Timber, and Brighton's Adingra replaces Jacob Ramsey.
We've also had a second inter-team trade between FC Varka and the U.S. Air Force. Akanji and McAllister head to the Serbian squad in exchange for Kwanzaa and Bowen.
Our first match of the week is the undefeated Ingleburn Athletic taking on Salah-led Osignac. After scoring heaps of points in the first 2 matches, the home side was looking to keep the score running, but Osignac was on a mission, scoring 61 points to Ingleburn Athletics' 45. There were impressive point scorers on both sides, with Brian Mbuemo, Chris Wood, and Leandro Trossard for ABA, and Mo Salah, Eberici Eze, João Pedro, and Leif Davis pivotal in Osignac's victory. The managers declined to comment on their win, which takes them to the top of the table.
In the next matchup, Mountain Villa grabbed its first win of the season after a narrow victory over Newcastle United. It was Newcastle's Isak who clinched the win with a very impressive 9-point performance. The same cannot be said for Cyprus FC, who were bested by team average after an outcome that made it seem that they were boys playing against men. 14 points was all the human side could muster up, with no player scoring more than 3 points and Declan Rice being sent off, subtracting 2 from the team's total. The next matchup ended in another grand defeat as last year's championship and last place teams, Huckleberry Hotspur and Chewelah, faced off for the first time this season. It was pretty simple work for the defending champs, winning by 25 with the aid of Allison, Wissa, Lewis, Semenyo, and Watkins.
The last 3 matches of the week were no less exciting. The Hive faced off Tommy, and after an impressive win with an Erling Haaland hat-trick last week, they assumed another would be enough to defeat the away side. However, Tommy had better weapons in his arsenal. Luis Diaz and Amadou Onana led the team to a narrow victory over the Romanian squad. Next up, FC Varka took on Toddy's boys in the first international derby of the season. In the end, it was a single fatal flaw that handed the win to the Swedish side. FC Varka's returning signing, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, scored 12 points this week. However, he remained on the bench for the losing club, keeping them winless on the season. Lastly, my club was away against the U.S. Air Force, taking home another W in a brawl of a 28-22 victory. I got lucky that I didn't play any better squad on the night, and I owe the win to Leon Delep and my new pickup, Bernardo Silva, who scored 7 points each. Palmer was unable to shine against his first club, scoring just 6 points en route to his squad's defeat.
And now that we've gone through every match this week, let's move on to our best 11 players in the Premier League, our team of the week.
And our player of the week, the Hive's Erling Haaland.
Before we leave you this week, let's take a look at the league after 3 weeks. Osignac takes the lead after that stellar performance, and Angry Bird Athletic drops to 4th. Toddy's Boys, The Hive, and Mountain Villa climb after match week wins, and FC Varka and Real Chewelah still seek their first league points of the season.
Well, I have a feeling this is going to become a trend with my upload schedule. I'm going to start working on next week's video, well, this week's video, literally right now, so hopefully I'll have it up soon. Or next week after all the next week's matches are finished. But, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, and see ya!